Hello and welcome. I am JP from Leprechaun Fantasy Workshop. We are today about to try and do part 2 of painting our giant War Galleon. This is from Printable Scenery. It is a massive beast that I truly love as if it were my own child, because it is. This is just a beautiful, massive model. We've done some of the back work here. And this part does come off still because today we are going to try and paint all these railings, do that work, and essentially get all the painting done on the main part of the ship. Maybe assemble a couple. There's a couple pieces that still need to go on the ship. And then I hope for tomorrow to be able to do the rigging. The rigging is pretty intensive, and there's quite a bit of prep work in doing that. So I hope to be able to do that. But my D&D game is tomorrow as well. So a lot of things to be happening all at once, but I hope to get into that. If not, we might have a part 4. So we'll try to do part of the rigging and then yada yada yada, because there's a lot of prep work with rigging that I don't want to put you guys through. Cutting the sails, prepping the sails, and also doing the cutting of the masts and all that kind of stuff. I do have the parts printed. I just need to get a little bit more painting work on them, but yeah. So we're going to get into it. Like I said, I want to do the rails. I have decided not to keep them black. I've decided literally 5 minutes ago. But yeah, we're gonna do that. I want the masthead. I did paint, but I want to do the hair. It's not gonna be black. I'm thinking, you know, it's an Irish ship. Let's say. No reason. I'm not biased or anything. But like a redhead, of course. Possibly we've got to do all the where the ship masts and secure. So I'm gonna do those like in an iron, I think. And then the ship grates, which I think I'm going to try and play around with that a little bit. And then we have to do the, where the rigging attaches, these portions here. So, still a lot to get done, a lot of detail work, but it's just the detail work, really. So it should be fast, it should be fun, it should be quick, hopefully, to some regard. And we're going to get into it. So, I'm going to flip over to the camera angle, and we're just gonna go into it. So bear with us as we switch over. And thanks for the follow for Gathers. Really appreciate it. All right, guys. So here we are. I mean, this thing's a beast. I mean, here's the again. If you've not seen this model, Printable Scenery. I mean, it doesn't even fit on my camera. I've got the, you know, the mount all the way out. It's just it's a sure giant behemoth of a model. In all these gun ports, there are cannon to go in there. There are, we have anchors that will be mounting, probably in that manner. So, I mean, that's going to be part of doing the rigging. So there will be anchors. All of these pedestals here, there's 5 of them, 2 here, and then 1 here. There are these, they've already been painted, but these really awesome lamps. So we're going to have to do the detail work on those to make those, you know, stand out. But again, this is just a great, hardy model. It did take about a week of printing on two resin printers. I'm sorry, on 2 filament printers, FDMs. I have a pair of Creality Ender 3s. But yeah, let's get into it. That's what you guys came here for. So the first thing I want to do is I want to hit the gold, because there is a couple gold areas. I want to hit these two portions where the lamps will sit in gold, and this little pedestal here. And then this back railing of the ship. I'm going to try and get this in angle. This railing inside, I think I'm going to do gold, and then a different wood grain in there. And then I'm going to do gold on this detail work, and then the wood design, the casual wood design there. So yeah, And as you can see, the detail work, the gold there. So we're going to try and match that up. Uniformity, right? So I'm going to grab my gold. We used antique gold before. Want to be consistent. That is one challenge if you have quite a bit of paint. Painting the same stuff, you know, the same color. So, yeah. And then for brush, I don't really overall care. Since we're doing smaller detail stuff, it doesn't need to be big, so I'm just going to grab a little fine tip. Most of this is going to be quick, light. So I'm going to do this stuff here first, guys, so I want to be able to give you a shot here. Let me try and zoom in a little bit. If I get out of camera, just hit me in the comments. Alright, so I just get a little paint on the brush, wipe it a little bit of excess. I often use a rag as well to wipe off excess for the dry brush technique. And I do use a rag. I don't like using paper towels. I'm just gonna go in there and give it a... I'm not trying to soak these things or coat them heavily. It's a little bit of the lighter coating makes, I think, the detail and the work show through, and I don't care about it getting on the edges like that because I'm gonna paint those too. Yep. Sorry, it's hard to get... This thing's so big, it's hard to get everything always in shot. I don't think Bob Ross ever had this problem. You have to move around his stupid easel and stuff. Alright, bear with me. I'm going to have to get the middle of this thing right now, and that's just not possible to have in shot. Alrighty. So again, I'm just putting a light coat on the paintbrush and just giving a little smacky smack as I go through. Sorry. And then while we're down here, I think we'll hit up this filigree here and here. You know, while you're there, why not? I get that oaken leaf. It's just this model has got detail everywhere, hidden everywhere. It really is an impressive model. I've been a big fan of Printable Scenery for a long time, and I was blown away by this one. I've actually had the files for this ship in my collection for years and just never printed it. It was just one of those things back in the day where I was just like, nah, I've got a frigate, a Byzantine, a sloop, you know, I do have a big fleet of D&D ships. And I just, I don't need a big behemoth. And, you know, then it just hit me one day of, I need a big behemoth, you know, like, what's gonna be, you know, what would a vessel, you know, what kind of vessel would a king have? That's the key part. So, that's kind of what happens. You don't always have to, you know, when you get files, when you do a Kickstarter, a lot of folks I talk to, well, you got that Kickstarter and, you know, you didn't print a bunch of stuff. I mean, you can set what you want to print. I'm on multiple Kickstarters all the time, and I don't rush off and print everything at once. I'm kind of debating whether or not to paint these gold. Just this edge thing going up. Let me know in the comments what you think. We should paint those gold or not. I don't know. I just don't know about painting those gold. But anyways. Alright, we're going to get moving on. So I'm going to move the ship over off for a second here. We're going to get into finishing off this. Again, just amazing, amazing scroll work and stuff. Most of this is just lightly brushing. It's not even talent. It is just the model tells a story, and I'm letting my paintbrush help tell that story. That's all it is. A lot of the great models out there, you know, by model, I mean, I hope to get to the level of making models like this someday, of designing them, but it really is amazing. So for this, I am getting both sides. I want to get these better just because when it's sitting on the table, you'll be able to see these from both sides. That inner railing stuff's not too is not very viewable, especially with that overhang. Once this part goes on top, you're not gonna be able to see that. Alrighty. Just give it a little spurts there, and we'll get this side real quick and move on. Although I love painting models, I don't want to linger. I don't like to, you know, some folks take months to paint a model, something like that. My printers, although for once they're not running, you don't see them going right now. Giving it a bit of a break. I usually always have something on the printer going at once. Since I'm still doing the Curse of Strahd build, I'm kind of reevaluating what files and what models I need next. Those will probably be up and running tonight. I need a lot of floor tile, but I don't know how I want to do the floors yet, so I'm kind of thinking about it. All right. Now we're gonna get these I don't know what to call them, like lantern, I mean, they're detailed artwork. They're really, again, there's not much of this model that is not just an extravagance of art. Again, I can only sing praises for whoever it was that designed this ship directly. I mean, Printable Scenery, it's one of theirs, but whoever the actual model maker designed was, hats off to you. Good to see my terrible hair. This is amazing. I don't really care too much about getting that top, just because there will be a lantern permanently affixed there in the near future. Perfect. Yeah, that looks a lot better with the, you know, before and after, and we'll get that little pedestal up there too. Cool. So I hope everybody's having a good day, good weekend, good all that jazz, by the way. It's been a rather busy one for me, but I do have, I don't want to say I have the next week off, because it's not true. I'm a part of a wedding party this coming weekend, but it should keep me busy, but because I've got a lot of work I need to do for the the wedding couple in my workshop, because I always make a gift. But I hope to be in the late evenings, be able to do some live streaming as well, take advantage of that. So I hope to, have that as a possibility. I don't know, because a part of the gift is a heavy amount of laser engraving, and I don't know if I want to live stream while essentially it looks like this room is smoking, because the laser engraver is literally there. And it's just, it looks like I've, I don't know, toked up or something. It just, there's smoke everywhere in here, which would be pretty cool with the RGB, the lighting and that kind of stuff. All this green smoke lighting kind of thing. But there you go. I think that looks pretty awesome all around. And just to give you a concept of, they'll be there. Obviously, it doesn't want to stay on right now. Super glue will keep it there, but I don't want to just do that just yet. Alright, now figuring out what our next color is going to be. Since we're already here and I want to finish off this as much as possible, let's hit the metal of that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a gunmetal gray. Now I don't know how historically accurate that is, but normally if this was like any other ship, I would put rust all over this stuff. But this is like the the Grand King ship kind of thing. So I think for this I'm just gonna stick with gray and shiny. Nothing crazy about it. And then for these screw holes, screw marks, the bolts that are on that, if you can see those, I'm going to do a little detail work on those when we get to another color. Every little bit of detail, when you pay attention to detail on these, it just, takes it to the next level. Cool. Now for the grate, I'm just going to do the outer portion of the grate. Or hatch, whatever you want to call it. Because I've got a plan for what I want to do for the actual grating part as well. And the hinges. Because again, like what I was saying, one, I want my paintbrush to tell a story. So the detail, the color, it just, makes it pop all the more if there's more color and more detail work in there. So there we go. Simple enough. Now there's hinges. There's 2 hinges here and there. There's a handle, but we're going to do those different color, and then we're also going to do the actual grate a different color as well. Again, I think that just make everything pop. So I think that does it for metal on this one. Set that aside. and move on to the big one. So we're gonna do this one first, and then move on to like the main masts. With these being raised platforms and using a squared off brush, it is just so simple to paint these. It's less technique and more, you know, just lining it up. Okay. Now, if you see that there's 2 holes here and 2 holes here, there are railings here and here that I printed in the resin printer, and those will go there, but we're going to do those in a different brown than we did the rest of the ship. And again, those will be a way to draw the eye. You know, if this is all silver, when somebody looks at it, it will draw their attention. Now I'm getting a little bit on the grading, but that's just fine. The only part of the grading I don't want to get is those black centers, because at most I don't want to get any paint on those. I want the black to remain there. And there's a reason why in a bit. Sorry, you probably can't see that part. So the reason why I want to keep the black as much as I can in there is because when I do a dry brushing, which is what I plan on doing, on the grate with a lighter brown, again, trying to draw the eye, it will be like there is depth underneath. And it is more difficult, or impossible, I should say, to keep that accent going if I'd have to paint them all black again and then start from scratch if I, get paint on it, if I wanted to have that effect work as well. So getting the edges on this one done first. And the top's easy enough. Alrighty. Now there's these metal bands that are currently brown because I painted them that way. Just because I didn't want to have to do the, try and stop and miss them and that kind of stuff. So we're going to do those. I get a smaller brush. Try and get that detail work in there. This is all about angle here. So all right, now more of a challenge. There are two down here in this. The problem is I wanted to put the bow or the bow on right away, and it would have been easier to paint it if it hadn't been on. But again, uniformity though, it's not impossible to paint this. It's just makes it more difficult. And I want to say it makes it less, doesn't look as good, but sometimes you don't execute as well if you don't have the space and, sight lines and that kind of stuff to see it. Okay. So again, just the bands there. Looking this over, make sure I'm not missing a spot or something. I feel like I am, but yeah. I always feel like I'm missing a spot. Usually I'm right, too. There's usually something that I just forgot or I didn't see. But I don't, so we're going to move on. Okay. Since we're on the decks, we are going to start doing our lighter color. Now this is going to be the heaviest color I think that we're going to do today. By heaviest I mean by volume. This is the color I've kind of chosen to do most of the railings and like that. And I'm sorry I didn't share the color choice here. I'm using a fawn, so I think it'll just be, it's almost like the shipwright used a different wood, a lighter wood for these detailed pieces and that kind of stuff. So and you know what, that silver is too wet right now, so we're gonna come back to that. Just gonna get after it. Oh, I am so sorry. We're not in shot here. So the difficulty of painting some of these models is some people will use like a Bondo or a filler paint, that kind of stuff, or to hide the print lines. I don't care. I know I've said that before. I just realized there's the metal I missed. All that's supposed to be gold inside those railings. But that's alright. We can get that after. No problem there. probably a good thing we didn't do those railings, because that'd make this a whole lot harder. Ooh. Problem with painting a ship. It's big and awkward. Difficulty of painting these railings is there's just so many angles. They're kind of easy to go at a higher pace, speed-wise, but you know, you want to make sure that they're well painted. You don't have a bunch of like streaks and that kind of stuff, or misses. So what I'm using here is I'm using a flat end brush, and I'm just kind of skirting it along. That's really efficient. Now the difficulty is going to be in getting the inner part of this railing done. And we'll get that in a bit since we've got to do this other top part. I can see that inside while I'm doing that, so. I wish I had the rights to play like sea shanties and stuff. That's kind of what I'm thinking of the whole time I'm, painting this. This might take a while. There you go. And then we're gonna have to work that line. Wasn't expecting that, but I think that'll look fine. Again, giving it more distinction. Sorry guys, I know this isn't as glamorous as some of the other projects. Some stuff, this is what it is, you know? You know, doing rigging is a lot of activity and different stuff. This is, you know, kind of, I don't want to say boring, but it's not the, you know, this, if you're into painting models and stuff, or you want to build terrain, this is how you get results, and this is how you get it done. But it's not all, you know, action, and, you know, it doesn't, the model's not going to paint itself for you. And the more decisions, the more colors, the more changes. You know, I could have done this all just one set of brown, but would it look as detailed and, you know, unique and all that stuff? Maybe. But again, just letting my paintbrush tell a story. In my world, in my mind, you know, the the ship's got a unique, you know, wood structure on the upper, which a lot of ships do. You could have it that, you know, you could do a lighter color than the other brown. By lighter, I mean just a smidge lighter. And it's, you know, the sailors touching the railings so often. And that's what gave it the unique color. Now I know you probably see the gap right here. That was a problem in the printing. And I could have fixed it, could have hidden it, but again, to me, that's not that important. I mean, it would take a while for somebody to even notice that. Kind of glad I didn't do those railings now, because painting these is painting around them without, you know, I'm if they were gold right now, they'd be hit all over. But when I go to paint the other areas around them, I'm sure I'll get them a couple times. That's one of the reasons I paint the way I do. I can go back and use that gold that I still have in the tray. Cover it up. Alrighty. Now we've got the interior both sides. I'm gonna try and hit this spot a little bit better. Kill. Kill, kill, kill. Alright, this part's gonna be a bit of a challenge. Alright, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge. Definitely not left-handed. Alrighty. We just got to do this back half of the stern. And I think we'll be walking on sunshine. Other than this other part too. I mean, like I said, this thing's a beast. There's a lot to paint. So Just got to get after it, right? Oops, sorry. There we go. That's what I was looking for metal. I knew there was some other spot I missed. There's always a spot I missed, like I said. Sorry, guys. This this is a really awkward part to paint. Let's try and get it in there. And bear with me, guys. I got to get this back end, and I just can't fit it on the camera. Alrighty. Can you imagine how difficult this would have been had I left this part here and actually glued that on? That would have made this a living nightmare, I think. Oh, I'm sorry, my hat is blocking the view. Just looking at how everything looks with that on top. So I've run into a problem. Problem is this sorry. This bottom part here is unpainted at all, but it matches this black line or this brown line here. So I either have to do it in this color or I can just do this part in brown and match it up, which is what I'm going to do, because that's far simpler and I don't want to do another line all the way down the ship. I just think that would be way too distracting. But we'll finish off the rails. Set him off to the side for a bit. Yeah. Somebody started crawling on my face. That was a spider? I don't want to know. Boom. Alrighty. I want to put this thing on the boat for the last time, so we are going to get that other portion painted and move on. Where did I put the... Oh. That's sorry. Alrighty. All right. Real quick, I'm going to get these gratings done. And we'll go from there. Cool. Cool enough. All right. And we'll get these two wee little guys painted. No, that's not as exciting, but... Alrighty. We got a few more spots to hit. Some detail work and we're done. Hopefully. Cool. Let that sit and dry for a bit while we hit a couple of those spots I missed. First, we're going to hit the rudder. Yeah, I'm gonna pay these gold. I decided. king who owns this ship is the king of bling. Cool. And we do the railings up front. Damn it, I missed the spot. That's pretty noticeable, that railing. Boom. It is coming together, guys. All right. We're close to the end, I hope. All right, now we got to do the ropes, the rigging. I'm gonna do these in a linen color, and then I'll probably hit them with a wash later. Side. Gotta hit all the ropes, right? Alrighty. Alrighty. And I believe there is one more rope somewhere on the bow. I think it's on the other side. It's on one side, if I remember correctly. Yep, there it is. All right, guys. I think we've just got to paint our mast, or not mast, our figurehead. See how far back I can get the ship and get it in shot. Yep, there's shoes. And there's one other thing I need to paint, but we'll get to that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a red and like a fire orange. So I'll let that dry for a little bit. And we're going to add more color to that. But while we're doing that, we've got a little bit more detail left to do. Need a good fine tip for this. Just paint the hinges of brass and the handles. Cool. Now again, I'm just adding these details, so really small, really finite, but it'll draw the attention if somebody sees it. Oops, sorry, my hat's in the way. Alright, I've got one more thing I want to do while the figurehead is drying before we go into another color regarding this detail. You can see there's these rivets running along the side. Gonna hit all these with that brass, and we'll hit the figurehead, and that'll be, I think, it. And yes, we do still need to do the cannons, that kind of stuff. I'm going to do that later. I do not have those finished or ready to paint yet. Oh. Cool. All right, and we've got to do the other side, but I don't know if there is any. Cool, there's none on here. Ever have that moment where you're like, oh, I'm almost done, and then you realize there's a huge spot that just is totally missed? That's where I'm at right now. It's all black right there. Can't have that. Can't have that at all, right? I'll do the detail work on that later. Cool. Alrighty. Now the last part, finishing off our red fire-haired beauty. A little bit too much. Awesome. Awesome possum. Alright, guys. I know that's kind of wasn't the most exciting thing, but you know, it takes a lot of effort and everything to get one of these done. So I'll figure out the rigging when we can do that. I've got a lot of pieces to do for that of prep work. But yeah. Pop over here really quick. So yeah, guys, thanks around, for sticking around. If you have, if you didn't, please check us out. Give us a like, follow if you enjoy this. Again, I know this is kind of, not the most exciting. The other one was a whole lot quicker and that kind of thing, but doing the detail work takes a lot longer. And, when you get, a ship of this size, all that detail work, all that kind of stuff, it does take quite a bit of time. And we're still far from done. We've got to still do all the rigging and that kind of stuff. Rigging, far more exciting. I will have all the stuff pre-cut, all that kind of stuff for the future. I already have here the, chain for the anchor. I use string, and then I use this elastic cord stuff for doing the rigging. So we'll be using that. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff to come. So part 3 will hopefully be finishing the ship off. There's a lot to do before then. I need to get the cannons done, which I might just in place and not do a video of it, because it's just, again, it's kind of repetitive, boring work in that they are they're just itty bitty little squares with a kind of the nozzle of a cannon sticking out of it. So I think I'll do that separately and we'll go from there. But again, thank you guys for sticking around. If you did, check us out, watch some other videos, give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I do this for you guys, for your enjoyment. And like I said, let your paintbrush tell your story, envision it in your mind, see what you want to see. And, it doesn't have to be the way that everybody else painted it. You can do what you want to do and how you want to do it. Be creative. I did a lot of different things than Printable Scenery did on this one. I really like how mine came out. Theirs is great, but it's a lot of bright colors and corals and all that stuff, which is, again, totally fine, but I like this version better. So, and you might be going, well, I like the black railing. Well, that would have been easier, but I liked the challenge of this, but also I do, now looking at it, like the lighter, colors. So, but I will see you guys in the next one. I will try to live stream tomorrow, but we do have D&D tomorrow, my group. So I really don't know if I'm gonna be able to get around to it. I will try. I have it scheduled, but just don't know. Like I said, if we're gonna do the mass, I have a lot of prep work to do because I have to cut the sail and all that stuff. But we'll figure it out, and I will let you guys know shortly before we normally would go live. Alright, well, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again. Have a great day, and let your paintbrush tell your story. See you guys.